In October of 2019, Microsoft announced a couple of dual screen devices that they hoped would change the computing world. To this point, one of them has been actually released and brought to fruition, being the Surface Duo, obviously. The other one is a larger device running Windows 10X, and this device is called the Surface Neo. Now, there's actually been some renewed curiosity about Surface Neo in the last few days, strangely enough, with the release of a show called WandaVision, because there is this little product placement in WandaVision where this character is holding, yes, that's right, a Surface Neo. Now, obviously, this was filmed a while ago, and they still thought Surface Neo might be coming out soon, but unfortunately, that is probably not the case. The Surface Neo has almost turned into vaporware at this point. We're hearing very little in terms of what's going on with Surface Neo, and we don't have a proper release date or even really a release window because Microsoft has just gone totally dark. So I thought it would be fun to take a look back and discuss what do we know about Surface Neo. So if you don't know right off the bat, what is Surface Neo? You're like, Shane, what are you talking about? Surface Neo is exactly this. And the best way to think about it is take Surface Duo and make it a whole bunch bigger. So this form factor, but with 9-inch, two separate 9-inch displays that will equal a 13-inch display when opened up. One huge key difference between Duo and Neo, though, is that Surface Duo is running Android, whereas Surface Neo is running Windows 10X. So if we just continue looking at the hardware of Surface Neo, one of the things you're going to see in a lot of the imagery is this attachable keyboard that is actually magnetic, because what you can do is you can take your Neo, put it in quote-unquote laptop mode, and you can use an on-screen keyboard if you want to do that, but they will sell this magnetic keyboard that will actually attach to the Surface Neo's bottom screen. You've got this touch bar up top, a la MacBook style, and then you have a regular screen up top. So at this point, you basically have just a very thin and light and really weird looking laptop. And of course, that keyboard can be stowed magnetically on the back side, kind of like how they're showing this pen being magnetically attached, but the keyboard will be able to do that as well. All the different postures you would hope to have, like you're used to with your Surface Duo, will be present on Surface Neo. And it's really taking this dual screen portability factor to another level. As a dual monitor user on my computer, this is awesome on the go, and then a Surface Neo, that's the idea. Take it another step further so that no matter where you are, if you're a dual screen workflow kind of person, well, you're going to have access to a dual screen workflow wherever you go. So obviously you have all these different postures, which are, all capable of being done on the Surface Duo as well. One screen, both screens, laptop mode, tint mode, all these different presentation mode, reading mode, all these different postures, which allow you to have many more different ways to interact with Surface Neo than you would be doing so on a standard laptop. Personally, I think that this thing is absolutely gorgeous. If you like the way Surface Duo looks, you're going to like the way the Surface Neo looks. This thing is very thin, 11.2 millimeters thin. It does weigh 655 grams, which is a little on the heavier side. But, let's be honest, I'm not really that worried about that. Sometimes when you have a device that's really thin, plasticky feeling, it might feel a little bit cheaper. That's not going to be a thing with Surface Neo. And it will be running one of Intel's new Lakefield processors, which aims to bring some of the benefits of ARM over to x86 by having hybrid cores to try and extend battery life and give you an always-on experience. Now, don't expect this thing to be an absolute powerhouse when it comes to processing power, because you are going to be giving some of that power up for that experience. But since it's running Windows 10X, I don't foresee that being a huge problem. But I guess at this point, it's time to talk a little bit more about Windows 10X. So we've talked about Windows 10X a bit before in the past, so I won't spend too much time on this, but basically it is a lightweight version of Windows, which is aimed to take on the Chrome OS market. As you can see in this image here, it looks a lot like Chrome OS, and that is by design. They want to try and capture that market back. A sector of the market that used to be owned by Microsoft has really gone to Google with their Chromebook. So this is an attempt by Microsoft to try and grab some of that back. Now, Windows 10X was initially being designed with dual screen devices in mind, but I think as we saw the massive spike of Chromebook purchases during the pandemic. I think Microsoft said, whoa, we've got to get Windows 10X on the market now. So let's focus on single screen experience first and get these devices out and put dual screen on the back burner. Now with Windows 10X, you're not going to be running or installing Win32 apps. You're going to be restricted to what is in the Microsoft Store. So that's something you have to keep in mind. There may be Win32 app support down the line, either through cloud streaming services that Microsoft will offer, or perhaps natively at some point down the line, but that's something you probably shouldn't count on for a while. There are also rumors of Microsoft's Project Latte, which will allow it to run Android apps, potentially coming over to Windows 10X. But again, not something I would hang my hat on for a while. So I mentioned that they started focusing on single screen devices, which caused them to push back the dual screen component. Well, what has that caused? That has caused a delay on Surface Neo. We were expecting a 2022 release for Surface Neo to begin with. So initially we were actually hoping to see Surface Neo as early as 2020, but this got pushed back with the delays on Windows 10X. And now in fact, the product page for Surface Neo is not even up any longer. So there's no release date really on the horizon. It could be as late as 2022 since we see anything from Surface Neo. Now you could even take this as far as to say, since they've gone totally dark, they've taken down the product page and everything, man, is this thing even still coming? Personally, I hope that it is, because I absolutely adore the concept. I would love to see this thing hit the market, and I would love to know what you guys think of Surface Neo. Is this something that you would want to look at buying should it ever hit the market? I think you also have to keep in mind what the price might be, because Surface Duo was $1,400, but what is Surface Neo going to cost? I would be shocked if this thing was any less than $2,000 at this point, based on what we're looking at. Will it suffer from similar problems as Surface Duo by being delayed for so long that when it comes out, you wind up having older, outdated hardware that's going to raise people's eyebrows, especially when they look at the price tag? Personally, I still think it's a really interesting, really cool design. I'd love to see, if Microsoft can't bring this thing to market, someone make something like this and bring it to market. I'd love to know your guys' take on the Surface Neo in the comments down below. But for now, this is really all the information that I have. If I've missed anything, please do drop that down in the comments as well. If it's a relevant, informative comment, I'll pin it to the top so everybody can see it as well. Hopefully we've not seen the last of Surface Neo, guys. Stay tuned for the next video, and until next time, stay nerdy, my friends.